Welcome to another meeting of Working Group LTS. This meeting is specifically for the APAC region. So this meeting is getting recorded, so don't say anything that you don't want in a recorded session. This will be publicly available on the internet. We follow CNCF guidelines and CNCF code of conduct, so which in short means please be awesome to everyone. And yeah, we can start today's meeting from here. I hope more people join in. Hey, could you introduce yourself? Hey, Broom. We are.
Hi there. Sean Johnson from Tyra Payments.
Hey, hi, John.
Hi.
Hi. Is it Sean or John? Okay, thanks. It's two of us today. Hope more people join in. Yep. On the agenda we have the first topic is survey. So we have about 500 respondents according to Stephen Augustus with the SIG PM and has admin access to the SurveyMonkey tool. So the survey has has seen good response at least till now. That's a good response. However, we're trying to see for the benefit of a lot of people who are preparing papers for the KubeCon and all the and also people who are working on the different proposals and KEPs for Working Group LTS. We are seeing if we can get some snapshot of the data right now, because 500 is a significant number. We discussed this in the Pacific time meeting, and unanimously everybody was okay with collecting a snapshot right now and going through the data to see if there was any spam or if there was any and how the data would be useful for other proposal makers. So it should be shown available, and that's interesting. We don't have a note taker. Sean, do you want to take the notes or volunteer for it? Yeah.
So I've never done a working group meeting here before.
Okay, don't worry about it. So do you see do you have the meeting docs?
Yep.
Okay, so you just go on each topic, summarize what people are talking about. That should be good enough.
Cool.
Yep, and whatever you do is your way of doing it, so it's not set in stone. It just should be clear and easy for people to follow up when they miss the meetings.
Okay. I've actually got to dip out in about 10 minutes. I don't know if I'd be able to do note taking today.
Okay, fair enough. No issues.
Sorry.
Yep. So I have made some notes already in the meeting doc, so that should be useful. Please add yourself on the agenda just to mark your attendance. Meeting doc. I've shared the meeting doc URL. The project board. We have created a project board for Working Group LTS to track all the progress and the work. In the last few meetings, we have been discussing about how we can be more productive and start taking up action items and following up on them. So project board was one of the things that the Kubernetes project itself is trying to use. It's a new thing, at least for me and Tim. It's a new thing. So we went and played with the project board. We had some user experience issues, like you cannot. We have a new label that's Working Group LTS, and you cannot directly use that tag issue with a label and then automatically get it on the board. So that is something. I mean, features like that are missing. So it's difficult to get issues on the board. You have to search them and then you have to add them. Labels do not directly help, which is counterintuitive, because now you have to tag, now you have to label issues and then come back on the board and pull them. Also, it's difficult to put. it's difficult to put any other automation apart from if apart from code review style issues, like if there were reviews on the board or on the issue, put it in this column, or if there were reviews on the if we have received LGTMs, then put it on this board, this column. So those are the only features you have. So there is no easy way for us to mark the progress automatically based on the status of issues or labels of the issues. So that is something also not very great with this board. And we have passed on this feedback to on a GitHub issue that I think the SIG PM is tracking, and we believe SIG PM, SIG contribacts, whoever wants to own this will probably fix or address these issues. I think that's it. There is also a couple of people have been requesting a change of time. I think for certain regions like India, it's too early for them. So there is a doodle out. The doodle link is also in the minutes notes. So of proposed new times and trying to get more feedback from the community, the new members who are interested in attending. So we could, pass in your vote so that you can voice your opinion on which time slot suit you. One good news, we are actually now in KubeCon EU, we have a deep dive session for a working group. So Tim and I and everybody is working towards creating content for that presentation parallelly. But before last meeting, we did not actually have the session. It was rejected. But when we proposed this session, we weren't an official working group, so we couldn't propose a working group LTS session in the contributor and the maintenance track. So we used a different mechanism, which according to the selection policies that they were, the selection strategy they were choosing, the proposal wasn't fitting. But since we are now a group, we reached, I think Tim reached out yesterday to the group, and actually the deep dive session has been approved. So that is quite encouraging. So we assume that if we will have a couple of proposals for working group LTS, and then we will have survey results that expresses the user's opinion on what they want from the project with respect to support kit. And so we'll have good content to cover during the deep dive and spread it even beyond the current audience. That's it on that. If you have any questions.
It might be good to get an idea from our area who's going to KubeCon this year as well. I like the survey format for the time zone. We've used that in the past for folks who are going to PyCon overseas.
Interesting. Yeah. Yep. Could you expand on the format of the time? Format of that. Was it a doodle, or how did you collect that data on who's going to PyCon?
It was similar to the doodle. It wasn't the same. It was, I think it might have been a shared spreadsheet. I didn't fill it out because I couldn't go to the US conference last year. But the idea was people were using it to collaborate just because they were traveling overseas. It's difficult to get around. They knew some people already in the community. And so they basically just had like a big spreadsheet of like, hey, I'm going to these sessions because I find it interesting, and a drop down below.
Yeah, I think when you register for KubeCon, you actually have a way to say which sessions you want to attend. So this is already built into the app that KubeCon uses for.
Cool.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to know who's going to KubeCon, so that we would know if we have if we need speakers somewhere, or if we need because I think not many people are going. I don't know yet if I'm going to EU, KubeCon EU. So as an organizer, so we don't know if there's any speaking requirement somewhere. So we should be able to let you know that information.
Cool.
Yep, but I'm very excited that we got through, and then this gives us a good recording session and a good platform for expressing the community's view. The user experience reports. The next thing on the agenda is something that came up during the US time meeting. So Quinton and Tim have spoken to JP Morgan to come and speak about what they do today with respect to upgrades and support cadence and how they manage their Kubernetes clusters, which is a good, interesting user experience scenario where apart from a survey, we get a detailed Q&A session where they come and present for about 20 minutes and speak about their speak about their experience and their opinions on how things should be done. So I was thinking if anybody in this meeting wants to do that based on their experience of using Kubernetes today. I think it's a great way of trying to make your perspective part of the solution. So if you want to share it's a good open platform. We can take 20 minutes in this meeting on a particular day, and then give an opportunity to anybody who wants to speak. Yep, and the session would be recorded, so probably whenever it happens, I'll probably the dates in this meeting, and people can go through them. That's it on the agenda. We went through that pretty fast. Any questions, opinions, and anything new we want to share?
Nothing from our side now.
Cool. There are no action items today for this meeting yet, but there were action items in other meetings. One is how do we manage dependencies on other projects like Docker at CB. So there is, Jordan had taken up the action item to start creating a doc or some kind of make progress in that area to identify and see where what we could do versus what other projects could do, other SIGs could do. Another was the testing of upgrades. So we are looking at version queues, documenting and clarifying on what is supported in Kubernetes project today. But there is no, our current testing framework does not let us test things like, can I test component 1 with behavior of a component 1 from a version number X with a component, same component in version number Y. That would help us test upgrades and point-to-point upgrades. So the test framework itself does not support that. And providing, if we tomorrow come up with different support cadence, we might need that to be able to test the upgrades. So Jordan has taken up that action item to start that thread. Yep, that information is present in the meeting notes of March 5th as an action item. That's it. I think it was, there's nothing else on the agenda. All right, then. Hope you have a good evening and good day.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Bye.